Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Nze O Nze. Nze O Nze is a regular on Open Conversation, and he also prides himself as advocate of the masses. Good morning, Nze, and welcome.
Good morning, Oresha. Good morning, the rest of Nigerians who are feeling good about what is happening.
I have a feeling that this greeting will cause trouble. But then, having said that, I guess our viewers will know the next person I'm going to introduce, and that is the leader of ICU Group. He is also a member of the State Executive Council of APC and also a regular on Open Conversation. He is none other but Chizi Nyomasela. Good morning, Chizi, and welcome.
Good morning, Orisha. Good morning, Zen. Good morning, very good Nigerians.
Are you quarreling with Chizi? You didn't greet him.
I'm sure you are not looking for trouble somewhere.
I want to stay the water. But then moving on to this story. All Progressive Congress said the defection of Rivers State Governor Sasimilaye Fubara has endeared the party to the people of the state, strengthening its support base. This came as APC committees concluded delegate congresses and primaries ahead of the February 21 House of Assembly by-elections in Ahoda East State Constituency 2 and Kana State Constituency 2. Chairman of the Congress and Primary Committee of Ahoda East 2, Shehu Dange, said Governor Fubara's entry has united the party and inspired renewed confidence among residents. He noted that widespread enthusiasm during the exercise reflected public trust in the governor's leadership, a view echoed by Committee Secretary Barrister Smart Ihanazo, who attributed the massive turnout to that confidence. Similarly, Chairman of Kanatu Committee, Ayuala Peter, said party members' enthusiasm shows the APC is well positioned for victory in the by-elections and beyond. The congresses monitored by INEC and security agencies produced 5 delegates per ward who will now vote in the APC primaries for candidates in the February 21 polls. I'll start with you on this one, Nze. What do you make of this story?
Just the caption of the story is it's a naked truth. The defection of the governor to APC, in fact, emboldened the party in the state. You know, over time, we saw in 2019 that APC struggled in Rivers State and couldn't field the candidate. So by then it was a mantra that PDP, Rivers is PDP and PDP is Rivers. You know, so no other political party could lift their arm, including APC. And you know, by then APC was in power at the center, and yet they could not penetrate Rivers State as strongly as they ought to, as the controlling party at the central. But coming to 2023, His Excellency, the former governor of Rivers State, you know, played a mixture, if I would say a mixed attitude in terms of bringing in PDP for the state and APC for the federal. And it worked fine. And since then, we've seen APC divided into two. APC loyal to Rotimi Amoichi, APC loyal to Tony Okocha, who is invariably loyal to the former governor, the FCT minister. And that little brouhaha had been going on within the APC family until the last local government election, where we saw another mixture that surprised the Rivers people, that some people could go in as PDP members and come out as APC. So that baptism that happened in behind the
Gave APC some level of credibility. As it stands in Rivers 23 local governments, APC is controlling about 20 living tray for PDP, you know. It was an overturn. Right. And yet, we still discovered the struggle of the APC to gain foothold in Rivers State until finally the governor moved to APC, which completely, you know, deflected the strength of PDP in Rivers State and gave APC the life that they required. And thank God that those that came from the federal are now acknowledging that, to the credit of the governor or governor's defection, that which I know that if any election is done in Rivers State today, definitely APC will take upper hand. I'm not of the APC. In fact, I don't fancy them. Not because of the people there, but because of their ideology and their policies and things like that.
All right.
But, however, the governor's movement into APC has made the River State APC state.
All right, very well. Let me ask you this question because it's quite important, even though you mentioned it in passing, but to throw more light on that. Now, you said that this is the naked truth, that the governor's defection to the APC actually is what gave APC the foothold that it has, yes?
Yeah.
All right, very well. If APC does not have any foothold in the first instance, will it be able to win 20 out of 23 local governments? Recall that these local government elections happened before, long before the defection of the governor. And the governor then was a PDP governor, correct? And then we had also have the ADC and Labour Party and other parties in the states as well. So how come there was election and APC, who did not have the influence? No, I'm not looking at foothold. Who did not have the influence, like you said, since they don't have the backing of the governor, who did not have the influence? Not forgetting that Tony Okocha at that time was one of the top critics of Fubara's administration. Now, how is it then that APC, who was playing such strong opposition to the governor at that time, was able to hold sway in 20 local governments, as against the governor's party, being the PDP, holding 3 in that local government? Can you say that that election was an indication of weakness on the side of the APC or weakness on the side of the PDP? And who was in the party? Who was in APC party and who was in PDP party at the time?
You know, you will not say that, and I will not agree with you on that.
It's a question.
Yeah. You see, what happened is that I painted a certain picture of what happened in 2019 and 2023, you know, when the then governor, you know, played a kind of role, you know, romancing with the APC while in PDP. That was why you could see the present
the turnout of the local government elections.
No. The presidential election of 2023, APC won in Rivers State, presidential election. But PDP won in the Senate and House of Reps.
And governorship elections.
House of Reps and Senate.
All right.
Except one seat that Labour Party
Pledged.
Then coming to the state election, where the governorship candidates
And the House of Assembly candidates will be
elected, PDP swept everything. You see to that. So I saw that romance as a very strong political alignment, which happened, and we kept it at that until 2025 local government election, where I told you earlier that after the 2023 general election, APC splitted into 2. Emeka Beke group, who were loyal to Rotimi Amoechi, and the Tony Okocha group that was loyal to Nyesom Wike. And actually 2 of them were moving simultaneously until a time that court came to give judgment. And while we were going by court judgment, the national APC national, by the leadership of Ganduje, you know, Omar Ganduje, came to say that they recognized Tony Okocha. And that fracas was continuing.
How does this answer the question that
No, I'm coming. I said this fracas was continuing until the local government election came after the Supreme Court judgment. Now, someone will say, why is it that the governor, who has influence, who is on ground, didn't sweep the entire local government election?
But you have local government election and
I am coming.
APP, the governor's choice
I'm
of the party.
talking about the last local government election.
All right.
We are not looking into what happened in the past, how the governor had been, you know. But this time around, I felt that the governor was licking his wounds. He was licking his wounds trying to recover from the, if I would say, his sickbed of the suspension, the what is it called, the government of a bars and all that. When this election came, that it's like one would say that governor didn't even participate in it.
Election was held under a bus administration,
That's what I
wasn't
said now.
it?
Yes. So the governor did not, I don't think if he actually fielded any candidate. But look at, like, the point I made here, that in that election we saw some people enter into the hall as PDP members, but came out of the hall as APC candidates, which means that there was a marriage, which I called baptism, that took place in the room, which was an agreement, which someone would say agreement between the FCT minister who is in PDP and Tony Okocha who is in APC, whereas two of them are friends. And you know that even though the FCT minister is in PDP, he is still working for APC government and actively functioning. So to an extent, that might be, Oga, let me compensate you with this. My boys, you people can freely join APC. Just like a native doctor who does not go to church, but advises his wife and children to go and get baptism in the church. So you saw that kind of alignment. And at the end of the day, though these men emerged as APC local government chairmen, you know that APC was not in their blood. And despite their emergence, the people who sing their praises, the people they govern, are not actually with them until the governor moved. Because the people love the governor, they believed in the governor, and they saw the weakness of PDP as the governor was going through persecution. So when he moved into APC, virtually, in fact, I would have joined APC if not for one thing. So
very well.
A lot of people, as you can see now, there is this registration, online registration of people massively in River State into APC.
All right, very, very well. But I will start from the last statement of the online registration. Actually, party has calendar, and APC calendar for registration of members just started. So it is not peculiar to River State. It is across.
But the reason why you are seeing the upsurge,
it's across the 36 states. Fair enough. And then one would say again, your arguments I would have probably to a large extent, I'm like, had it been that when the governor conducted the 2025 local government elections, I mean the one that was annulled by Supreme Court, you recall that APC pulled out, boycotted that election, PDP boycotted that election. That election was literally not contested.
And the APP had
it was literally not contested in River State. So probably if that election was contested by APC and PDP and all whatnot, and the governor's party at that time, the APP, if they had won landslide like they did that time, one would say, okay, so the political foothold is there. But when you make your argument using an election that was held under the administration of a BAS, now Wike was not in power, if I may use that word, the FCT minister was not in power, the governor was suspended. I mean, there was a fair level playing ground at that time. One would have said that every man would have, put their hand to the plow and let the stronger man win. However, anyway, you also said in your statement that it was the FCT minister that organized APC in River State, and also you also said in your statement by the reason of Okocha's loyalty to him gave rise to his men winning the local government election. So how then, if I go by your submission, the FCT minister will work with Tony Okocha, organize APC, have that massive defection to APC, have APC win local government elections for the first time in River State, and then suddenly it is now, anyway, but then I will get back to you, but we have an APC, a member of APC State Executive Council on the show today by name Chizi Nyomasila. So Chizi, I want you to throw more light on this discussion. Go ahead.
First, I thought you guys have taken over my role of trying to tell you what is inside APC.
Please go ahead, Chizi.
Firstly, I want to thank them. Let me be fair to them. When you say the entrance of the governor has added impetus, into the APC. Of course, that's what I summed it at. Of course, anybody that enters into a political party is plus one. It's just plus one. But don't take into heart what these personalities are saying. I have been in two parties in my life. I've been in PDP and I've been in APC.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that I have played something that they did there. And I know what it takes when you are with the governor. I know what you want to say anything. People can say anything. Let me come here. APC didn't lack members. Yes, we didn't have the momentum that we had in this period. But APC didn't lack members. I was in APC in 2017, and I was a member of the state working committee. That's what gave me this right to become state executive committee by status.
Okay.
Now, I was a member of the state working committee and an active one in that. So I know so much about the APC. Now, in 2019, I'm just trying to get us back to the APC didn't field candidates because somebody in PDP, that is the governor, the then governor, the former governor in PDP, make sure that Rivers, of course, you know that South traditionally that were PDP. They were PDP. So somebody in PDP, which is the governor of Rivers State as then, as he was then called, Chief Yesowike, didn't let APC, he allowed his PDP to win, and they won, right? And so in 2023, he changed the narrative again. Where all the National Assembly came from PDP, apart from one who is the Potako constituency, who Labour won. And then came and then gave Tinubu, because before that, Tinubu would have come fourth in Rivers State. I'm not talking about third. He wouldn't have come fourth. Kwankwaso would have won him in Rivers State. But the FCT minister, of course, because of his organic followership, made sure that he came. And then again, we came back to this place like my friend did say, that the time came where APC was not divided. APC was never divided. And when they talk about court ruling, the High Court of Rivers State ruled that Emeka Beke was the substantial person. We don't also talk about, is that where the court stops? We don't also talk about the Court of Appeal that said that Tono Kocha was also the person. And that the National Assembly is also in support of Tono Kocha. I mean, the National Working
I
Committee.
thought there was a court judgment before this last one that removed Emeka Beke.
That's
Is
what
that
I'm
correct?
saying. A court judgment removed him. So I don't know which of the court judgment, but I have told people that even before that court judgment that removed, that Emeka Beke said he was the one, there was a court judgment from the members of the State Working Committee of Emeka Beke that went to court against Emeka Beke and said Emeka Beke didn't exist. Emeka Beke was just existing for SIM for the governor. That's all. He wasn't existing for anywhere. So when we came, then like he said, election was held. The governor conducted what is called the pseudo election that we criticized, that was the election, that could have been an election. And they brought in APB, right? Now the governor, when this election, when the Supreme Court gave their ruling and there was a local government election, APC in that local government election had 259 councillors. 259 councillors. That is from 319 wards. APC. APC has 20 local government as against 23. That's APC. So the question would have been that the governor was frustrated into going to APC. There was nothing he could have done. There was nothing. I mean, a situation where you are in a state where you have 295 councillors, that means that you have the minimum of 95 supervisors, you have the minimum of 69 local government executives. What I mean by local government executives, of course, you know that you have the chairman, the vice chairman, and the secretary of the council of the 23. So you have those kind of, I'm bringing statistics into here. And then you have the assembly member who are also members of the assembly, the APC. You have the assembly members. You have people who have already defected to the APC, who are already APC members. You have local government chairman as APC member. What would a governor be doing? Wouldn't he be isolated? The question is just check. Only in Rivers State did you get the defection of a governor not coming. Look at Kano, for instance. Kano just defected to the APC. You saw that in Kano we have 44 local government chairmen coming to the APC because of the governor. You have members of the State of Assembly, 22 members of the State of Assembly coming to the APC because of the governor. Which person went to the APC because of Fubara? Number one question. That is not the one who is adding impetus.
I'm sure you can answer that.
I agree that anyone, what just happened to APC is that APC added one vote, which is what Fubara is. Because there is nothing. I mean that when people talk about, you see, when people come, of course, I am a member of the APC. In fact, I'm even being unjust to APC, not to allow people boast of that. But that's because we do not have any other party contesting that power with APC. If we had another party, I would have just aligned with them. Because here, we can freely say that the APC we have here is not the APC of Fubara.
Who's so APC then?
It is the Tony Okocha-led APC. Where did Fubara decamp to? It's Tony Okocha.
Okay. That's
Tony Okocha. So all of that, Fubara came to the APC, and just after 1 week or 2 weeks, his deputy followed. That's not the kind of when a governor is going with a momentum. You saw when the governor of Bayelsa came to the APC. You saw when the governor of Akwa Ibom came to the APC. You saw when governors are coming to APC. And if by anything Chief E.N. Wike decides to go to APC, you will not only see a clampdown of party, you will see it in more than 9 states of the federation. So that's when somebody is coming to APC. When they begin to talk about. So what I'm saying is that it is good that Fubara is in APC. It is a welcome development that the governor, I'm sorry, just calling him, that the governor is in APC. A welcome development. It has added at least 1 vote for us. But not that it is because of him that you are getting that kind of momentum. Now, the e-registration has already started. Do you know what has been going on? Do you know that local government has kickstarted the e-registration before it's even decamping? What are we talking about now? Is this the e-registration, is it just starting now? He came to register into the e-registration not because of him. Get this thing rightly. Now, let me also say this. Before we begin to get some statistics very, very wrong, I will always say there's a welcome development that we have added the governor into the APC. But let me underline it. So that the governor was frustrated into going to APC.
You feel the governor defected to APC to save his
political
career?
Because he doesn't have, what alternative does he have? You know what the governor will be doing? The governor will be in APC, maybe with his deputy, and that will be the only person in APC in Rivers State, in this government. So who else would, the speaker is in APC, the assemblies are APC, local government chairman are APC, councillors are APC. APC do have their executive, ward executives and all of that. Then again, on the delegates, you know, I like to tell people when they say they went to do a delegate election they want to conduct delegate election for, you know, for primaries, and then they said, oh, because of Fubara. The question is, assuming that is, let me use the local government that are appropriate. I'm talking about the local government like Kana. Kana has 19 or 18 local wards in that place. Then you're going to have 18 times 5 will be how many? Will be like 90, isn't it? 90 persons. So it looks to people that those are the 90 people that will vote for the candidate. No, hell no. Hell no. That is not inclusive of the party chairman, the ward party chairman, the ward party secretary, the ward woman leader, the ward youth leader. That is not inclusive of the councillor. Those are members. Members of the state executive committee who are from that ward is included. Members of the local government executive committee who are from that ward is included. The local government chairman and his councillors are all included in those that will vote. Assuming without considering, and that's not what happened, because of course I know what happened. Assuming without considering that it was Fubara who picked, because you know what? There is no Fubara person who is qualified to become delegate for now. Now, except Fubara. Because they are not yet members of the APC, they're just coming in, if they have to come. So the people that were also elected delegates are the original APC who were there, plus all of these people that I'm talking about. So we are going to have elections in the two places, whether you like it or yes. We have a governor who now supports that move, right? Who cannot do anything but to support. I'm using that word consciously. Who cannot do anything but to support. There's no contention whether FOBRA or FCT, because FCT is not a member of the APC. So we're talking about Tony Kocha being in charge of the APC. But you can see people when they come to talk, of course they are selling our party or the governor, but to say that it's because of the governor that all of those impetus are being added into the APC is a complete no and lie and lie. And that lie is from the pit of a big purse. The people just wanted to just say something because each time they come to Rivers State, that's why I can tell you that most of them, I'm on national television, they lobby to come to Rivers State. Rivers State, there is that now. Let me ask you one question, Lorisha. You are a journalist. How many times have you heard by election? I'm not undermining the position of an assembly, but I say that the hierarchy of elections, in the hierarchy of elections that will be supervised by INEC, and assembly is the least. Is that correct? That will be supervised by INEC. How many times have you seen our party? We have by-elections that you have seen that we won here. Have you seen?
They never made a statement.
Nobody made a statement. I can tell you that some of us also went as, what's it called? As a returning officer to that delegate elections. We move to states. How many people have made that as action? But now that it's in Rivers State, because they lobby to come in two constituencies, because in Canada they have two constituencies. So there is one constituency out of the two. They are just talking about how many words in that a national person will come and then begin to address press because of FOBRA. That is why this one is happening. Because his purse is big. I'm not afraid to say it. His purse is big. He need to say something. They come to bring tension in Rivers State where there are none. You could do that thing, do whatever you want to do, and go. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know that some of us, if it is in our constituency, because I cannot speak, one thing I tell you is that I've gone through the classroom of theoretical politics into this very harsh area of practical politics. I'm in politics. There's nothing I do. It's by the grace of God has a ministry he runs, plus including interfering into our own business.
Which is politics.
Now, Lorisha is a journalist par excellence, and I mean it. I'm not saying it. A journalist par excellence, and she's also interfering in our own. You will have a way of being in your own, but some of us are there. This is all our work. Allow us tell you how our farm is. That in this farm that we have, do you know that if it's in our constituency, you know why I said in our constituency? In our constituency, I'm telling you, as Chief E.N. Wiki, as FOBRA, as Amechi, our constituency is the most stubborn constituency. You know why?
That's Ikwere
constituency. If it was in the Ikwere constituency that they made this assertion now, do you know what would have happened? We'll raise a party from grass party and win that assembly. And so we'll tell you, okay, is it because he's doing that you want? And big faculty. We'll embarrass them. Because nobody come and tell. See, Rivers State politics must be allowed to what, and for some of us, it's even we are even falling into their trap. People like me, and we have refused to fall into that trap because their trap. They will never allow Rivers State rest. When they come to Rivers State, they will say something that will bring in controversy. Some people will not begin to. Some of us who are not even looking at that. Do you know that if not for this thing, sometimes you can even go to that election, and some of us may not even know that a by-election was conducted because it's in our constituency. What's the business knowing whether a by-election? So they will come and then make it a national issue. A by-election, so there will be tension in Rivers State. So the governor will begin to bring out of the 600 billion, and then these people will now begin to bring out money, and then they will be giving them. That's the problem.
But Jay-Z, at the beginning of your statement, you did say that the governor's defection to APC, that you don't want to use the word boost, but actually it added impetus.
Of course, I said so. No.
So regardless of whether he defected with structure or not, you will agree that there is a level of influence that the governor brings to the party.
And I have defined the influence.
You said that his influence was more or less pedestrian, and the governor's reason for defection is to save his political career,
You
which automatically, if you look at it from your analogy, de-influences the governor in a sense, like makes him, the party is actually doing you a favor, not exactly you doing the party a favor.
That is, you know what you are doing? You are being professionally using the word pedestrian. Is the word that is, Fubara does not have alternative than to come to the party. It is he begging us to come to the party. That's the narrative I wanted to change. That narrative is, and I showed you examples. I told you other governors who defected now. See, ordinarily, like Kaduna, Kanu for instance. Kanu for instance is NMPC or something, you know, that party.
Kanu.
Kanu.
NMPP.
NMPP, isn't it?
Yes.
That's Kanu. Then you can have the legs of APCs and all of that struggling. A man moved, even though there are gladiators, this is what we're talking about. And that Kanu example is almost like Rivers example, where the godfather is having another interest other than your interest, isn't it? Now the godfather is in another place. The man moved 44 local government chairmen, moved 22 assembly. Do you understand? That is colossal. That is where you say it's somebody's inflex that has brought that to bear. But in this case, all these people we are here, it's like asking the governor an APC governor in Lagos, in Kaduna, to go back to this. That's what you say is monumental, right? So in this angle, but again, like I've said, he's coming into the APC. What do I mean by added emphasis? I said at least we have gained one vote.
All right.
That vote, and every day, the Bible that me and Nze and you, if you read, the Bible that all of us read says this: daily God added to David one. So if it's one person that he added, and we will celebrate the one that is added. And of course, there are people who, Nze said he would have joined the APC. If not that he knows that Fubara is not influential enough, he would have followed APC. So he decided to remain.
All right, let me have Nze answer to that. Nze, very quickly before we move on to the next story.
Actually, we are throwing light to the statement of the people who came to conduct the delegate election for the two constituencies that will be having by election. And when they are trying to give it to the governor that is defection to APC has really changed the